What's up, everybody? Well, today, a lot of people have been asking me to do this, and so here it goes. We're going to talk about my experience with the Stray Kids. So, not too long ago, the Stray Kids came to Madrid. And to be quite honest with you, when my wife and I travel, we try to travel as well as possible. You know what I mean? Like, we want to make sure that we have everything. The hotel accommodations, everything is right. So sometimes there's always some kind of an issue. No matter how much we try to, to do things, something always ends up messing up. But this time it was smooth, man. We got on the train from Barcelona to Madrid, got caught up with a couple things out there. Then we got to Madrid and straight to the hotel. It was cool. It was a really nice hotel room. Shout out to my wife. She knows how to pick them. She knows the deals. And that was about it, man. We got there quite early, and we decided just to kind of go up to the rooftop, take a look at the city from up there. I love Hennessy. I think that is a really, really good drink, and they actually had it, and it was not that expensive, which I was very surprised because this hotel was like super big time. Anyways, so that was about it. We went back, we got some food, went to lunch, and then it was showtime, man. We did take a disco nap. We wanted to nap a little bit before we got there. So we get to the venue, man, and this is a soccer field. Like, this is a soccer stadium. So it is super huge, like big, huge. And this shit sits out in the middle of a field. It was burning hot, man. It was hot, and this is an outside venue. So we got there, and I'd never seen so many different types of people ever, man. I mean, the TXT concert, as far as people, now it was a little smaller, but the people themselves, I don't know. These people were like, they look like goths. That's what they look like. K-pop goths. They were all over the place. It was a great atmosphere. This place is huge, so they had food trucks, they had everything. And later on, we'll talk about why they had everything, because it didn't dawn on me until we left. But anyways, we got in there, we got seated, and we were seated in the upper row, and we are looking down at the stage, but we are to the side of the stage. So if you were looking at the stage, we are hard left to pretty much the stage. So we can see behind the stage and in front. So we're all sitting there, and there is a literal bar in front of us. So there's nobody in front of us. It's just the bar. And there's just enough room to sit. And if somebody's going to pass, you know how it goes. You got to scoot back. They got to go. It's that situation. So the concert starts, and first off, the sound is amazing. Like, it from where we were, which is crazy because later we would come to find out that in certain parts of that stadium, apparently the sound was really bad. But from where me and my wife were, everything was great. It sounded awesome. Plus, we had our own little strip of, Eclipse speakers and stuff. So, in any event, they played. It was just an amazing show. The energy was like I've never felt that before. I mean, it was close to when I went to go see TXT. It was close. But this was just on a whole other level. Like, this reminded me of when I went to go see Iron Maiden for the first time. Like, I'd never seen a show that had those kind of props and lights and stuff like that. And this was definitely that and then some. And even the prop, they had this guy come out, and it's like a balloon guy or whatever. It was just really cool. It looked like, if you didn't know better, it was a heavy metal show. Black, red, loud. These guys performed like you couldn't believe, man. Notice that when Felix came out, that he didn't participate as much when it came to the dance moves, but it didn't matter. He had his own little movements, and everything was really, really cool. The other amazing thing was that I counted, and altogether, I think they had I counted 28 28 background dancers. Now, it's possible it's 30. Maybe I lost count of a few, but that's what I counted. I counted 27, 28 background dancers. And I'm like, wow, man, that's a lot of people to be carting around in the world. Not to mention the production, the stage production, the entire production was just, it's as professional as you're going to get it. My only complaint was where we were, there were no other alternative screens. So we couldn't see what people are seeing. Usually they have a screen or a jumbotron where you can see the front of the stage. That was non-existent. So we were just delegated to the view that was in front of us, which was also backstage as well. So it was cool to see the inner workings. They had a 64 Impala lowrider there. I just about fell out of that section. I couldn't believe it. It's beautiful. What else? I think the only other thing I can say back to the energy was that very early on into the show, there were some seats that were next to me that were empty, which was kind of crazy. When all of a sudden these two young girls come hopping over and they occupied the seats. Now these girls, obviously this wasn't their seats, but they saw that once the concert started, they had their eye on those seats next to me. So when the concert started, they jumped over. They're probably about 14, 15 years old. There's two of them. The one that is sitting next, was it next to me or next to my wife? So it's me and my wife and this girl and her friend. This girl here with the little brown skirt on, she had to be all of about 15 years old, and she had the energy of an atom bomb. If you could just harness the energy that this little girl had. And the thing was that she was so excited, and so was her friend. But at one point, you couldn't help but the whole row was watching this girl. So what happened was when they came down there, she looked at the people in our section and she said out loud, "Is it okay if I stand?" Now keep in mind, our section is full of Gen Xers like me, right? We're older people. We're not going to be standing. We're going to watch the show. Here's this little fireball saying, "Do you mind if I stand up?" Well, if she was going to stand up, she would definitely, the way the seats were, she's going to be blocking some views. And so people were like, "Relax. We don't do that here. Like, you're not going to stand up. We're not standing up. You're not standing up," which is crazy. It's like, whatever. She's a little kid. So but she accepted it. She's not going to stand up. So she sat down. This little girl, every once in a while, would stand up. Oh my God. She is so excited. She actually gripped the railing, standing up, and was going, like, the desperation this girl had on her face when she saw those people. And her friend, the entire concert, was just sitting there dying laughing and filming her. And it was just funny. It was funny. I've never seen a human being with so much energy and just like, I mean, we watched this girl take the biggest deep breath. She said, but this was how loud it was. It was so loud in there with screaming girls and screaming people that she literally stood up, grabbed the rail, and inhaled and said, and when she yelled, it's like nothing came out. It was unbelievable. It was that loud. Like you couldn't hear anything. But she was going to add to the sonic calamity, and she did. And it was funny. It was great. So my wife and I are like, all right, man, we got to get going because there are a couple songs about to end, and we like to duck out of the concerts a little early so that we can get to the cab or get to where we need to be, you know, before everybody is coming out. So as we were coming out, I realized back to the trucks and the picnic tables, that's where all the parents were. So all the parents of some of these girls were in there. We're out there just getting drunk, eating, socializing with each other. It was actually a really, really cool atmosphere. Not something that I would have seen in the United States. Not like that. It was cool. It was really chill. It was a great concert. It was loud. And I got to be honest, I am deaf. And coming out of there, I was like, geez, man, wow.
Musicians.
What about them?
You haven't said anything about the musicians.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the musicians. Yes, the musicians for that band was great. The drummer, it was the superstar. We had a shot to where he was. Man, you couldn't help but watch this guy. And he had the biggest smile. I mean, we are far apart. We are far away, but you could see that this man was playing and he just had the biggest smile on his face and he just played. And all of the band was just great, man. They were on cue. If I didn't know any better, each one of these players had to be from the church because they played like church players, man. Just flawless. And so much. Like, how many songs did they play? Like 30.
Yeah.
So, and they had their breaks and interludes. So it was a long ass concert.
3 hours.
3 hours. You would really have to be a K-pop lover or a stay, as they call them. Stray Kids, man. What can I say? I guess, this is my second K-pop concert. I'm highly impressed. We were impressed for the last couple days coming home. We just were walking around with smiles going, oh my God, that was just amazing. It was amazing. Not taking anything away from TXT. It's just a bit on a different level. I cannot wait to see more out of Stray Kids. I think it's going to be great. This show is going to be one to top, but I have a feeling that's what these guys are going to do. It seems like that's how they've done it. They've always outdoing themselves all the time. And it was just really cool. It was great to see them. They did a great job. They're dancing. Everything was on cue and they had a lot of fun. And in turn, everybody else, it kind of reciprocated. Everybody had a lot of fun. And yeah, so anyways, thank you guys for stopping by and listening to me rant about Stray Kids and my first experience, our first experience, my wife and I. And if you guys haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and put the notification bell on so you know the next time we drop one of these rants. Not a rant, but one of these, I don't know, visual book reports. I don't know what you call it. Anyways, talk to you guys soon, man. Peace out.